So, welcome to the online session. Welcome to the online session on mindfulness. I remember one beautiful verse from one of the greatest book. You might be aware, Gita. It says, Uddharet Atmana Atmanam Na Atmanam Avsadait Atma Aivahi Atmanah Bandhu Atma Aiva Ripuhu Atmana. So one verse, 4 liners. First liner, evolve self by self. Second liner, never degrade self by the self. Third liner, self is the best friend. Fourth liner, self is the best friend. Do you remember how many times we have used the self? I've been talking about real self. So I did not say real self 2, 3, 4, 5 times. This is the teaching or the advice given by the originator of yoga, who is Krishna, to a seeker, who is Arjuna. Now understand. First liner is evolve self by self. By the way, that Arjuna was full of anxiety, depression, relationship challenges, and lot of problems. Even though he was a great warrior, he was never defeated in any war. Yes, people say that, now is not the right time to learn when I become old. And when you become old, you have lot of problems, so you cannot learn. Arjuna was 86 years old when he was depressed, full of anxiety, but still there was something in him. He was a seeker. So the first lesson today, first liner, evolve self by self. So first self is the real self. And how to evolve by the other self? That self is the mind and the intellect. Do you know how to fly a plane? No, I don't know it. So this mind and intellect must learn, educate oneself. So the mind and the intellect should know the principles. How to know the principles? My mind is already in a stress and anxiety, duality and a conflict. I am not able to understand. What should I do? I should take the help of somebody else who knows it. And who is that? Teacher. No, I don't want to learn. You just guide me mindfulness, Let me close my eyes and do the breathing. It will not help. It may help. It will give you some relaxation like a pill. Whenever you need it, you get it. And you are okay. But again, the mind and the intellect still goes back to the same problems again and again. See that? So the first liner is evolve self by self. It means, is my mind ready and committed? What is commitment? This is 1 hour session, so I'll just briefly cover that. Minimum this verse takes about almost 10 to 15 hours to understand clearly. But you all are intelligent, you can easily understand, so there is no problem. I have no problem. So mind in the intellect should be engaged. How you learn driving? You engage yourself with the driver teacher. You see that I don't engage myself with the driver teacher to learn the driving and I want to know everything. How it is possible? It is a journey. So that is why this master says, evolve self by self. What is the opposite of evolution? Second message, involve, degrading. What is that degrading? It is all we are suffering from, anxiety, stress, duality, conflict, problems in relationship, and there is a long list. The second message the master says, never degrade what? Never degrade self by the self. So again, the first self is the real self, and the second self is the mind and intellect. Mind says, I am depressed. So what you are creating, real self is here. This is the real self. And now you are degrading yourself. Then the mind says, I am depressed. I am in anxiety. I have problem. I have suffering. This is the mind, but the real self is untouched. First thing, mind starts degrading itself. And the second thing, what happens? Mind creates the false self. Mind creates the false identity with anxiety, depression, duality, conflict, problem. But I don't know the principles to replace it. Same thing. I have to know the principle. What I'm doing, I'm introducing the principle in your mind to know. Okay, are you ready to replace it? But what we do in our life, we are constantly degrading ourselves. So when you degrade yourself, the mind creates a false identity, and that false identity you experience as anxiety, as confusion, as duality, as a conflict, as limited by the body, mind, intellect, ego, resources. What it has to do with the real self? Real self is here. And in front the mind comes. You are still the same consciousness. You are still the same pure consciousness. You are still... Your essential nature remains permanent peace and happiness. That we don't understand. We don't want to understand. We say instant. Give me an instant, like instant coffee. Will it work when your mind is already heavily conditioned by those challenges in your life? You don't want to start from a real journey. Not possible. I'm briefly making you aware. The third is the self is the best friend. What is this self? The same mind and the intellect. When it becomes the best friend. When it becomes the best friend. When the self becomes the best friend. When it is committed to undertake a journey. Now understand what exactly is commitment. If I say I am committed to give you lessons every Saturday, what it means? I have made a choice that I leave everything but Saturday mindfulness live session without any expectation. What it means, in the commitment I made a choice. I had many other options, but still I made this a choice. So what is the commitment? That I have to make a choice in my mind to evolve myself, to awaken to permanent peace. The rest are details. No, I don't have time. I became late. I cannot do it. So when you say I cannot do it, you have already made a choice through the mind that you don't want to do it. So what else? What will happen? So the mind and the intellect, especially the intellect, has to make a right choice. What is right choice? So in Eastern wisdom, we say the right choice is Shreyas. You see that? And they are always early. They don't have time. It's okay. So they made what is the right choice? Right choice is Shreyas. And what is wrong choice? Preyas. So Master says if you make a wrong choice, that is preyas, you will continue to suffer from stress, problems, relationship problems. What is preyas? Mind says, I will continue to live my life with what I like, what I dislike, and what is pleasant to me. What I like. Now I have to think what the teacher does, because you cannot think in a right direction. So then you take the help of a teacher. The teacher introduces the path of the Shreyas. It does not happen by yourself. Whatever can happen outside, you can have a car, you can leave the car, you can earn more money, you can leave the job. These things will happen. That is what the prayer says. What I like, what I dislike. What I like, I want to keep that attracting. What I dislike, I want to leave it. The same thing happens, soulmate. I'm happy with a person. Soulmate. After a few years, sourmate. Now I'm unhappy with that person. It is because the mind is heavily conditioned with what I like, what I dislike. And what is pleasant to me has to be replaced by the path of the Shreyas. What is right and good. So commitment to what is right and good. Can it happen in a day? When the mind is totally obsessed with the world outside? No. It has to be learned. It has to be introduced. The mind needs to be engaged. So what is right and good in one word? You don't have enough time. What is right and good? The permanent peace and happiness are our essential nature. I need to engage my mind to find that truth, that real self. When the mind and the intellect is constantly pointing to the Shreyas, you are on a path and you are a seeker. Only the seeker succeeds in mindfulness, no other. Can it happen in a day? No. Now what happens, because I like and dislike, this has been happening over years, days, weeks, months and years. That is how I'm living my life. So it has heavily conditioned the mind. So what we think? 24 hours a day? How to earn more? I lost some money. And I have a physical challenges. No, I'm very busy. That is why I always join late, because I am very busy. My reasoning. I find one guy, who always joins late. No, I'm very busy. So when the mind is heavily conditioned, it will not help you to commit to the right path. One. And the same mind will dictate your intellect. That is here referred as a self. So, do you have a choice left? No. So when you don't have a choice left, the mind and the intellect is constantly moving in a circle with likes and dislikes and what is pleasant, and it is creating what we experience as anxiety, stress, duality, challenges in our relationship, limitedness, perception, ignorance, and long list. Summarizing it. First liner, evolve self by self. Can you think rightly? If you cannot think, you need a teacher. Simple. So your mind reaches to that state of culmination in the first liner, evolve self by self. You have a little anxiety, the mind and the intellect reminds you of the right path. 90% of the anxiety and the stress drops there. You don't need a teacher until lifetime. You need a teacher, driver teacher, until you start driving on the highway of life. Can it happen in a day? I told you. Second is never degrade self by the self. Your mind and the intellect is responsible for degrading you. Claiming that, I have lot of problems. Third, you have to make your mind the best friend. How the best friend you can happen? You take up any you take up any pleasures of the world and make it a friend. It will defeat you. It will make you crazy. So you can make the mind and the intellect the best friend by the principles of the Eastern wisdom. How many principles? There may be 200 principles. No, I have to learn 200 principles. No. It is based on your temperament, your mental state. What level of evolution you are on the path. And who will decide it? Who will help you? I won't say who will decide it. Who will help you? Teacher. Personalizes and customizes, picks up those moments of the mind that is becoming an enemy, drops it by simple principles, and the time comes. You are ready. You are ready for the journey of mindfulness.
Looks like there's a problem.
That can help you to reach to that state. Can it happen in a day? I have already given you that example. So now let us start our journey of mindfulness. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. So when you close your eyes, the position of the body. What is that position of the body? You are looking, the mind is looking at the body, you feel the sensation, check it, it is the subtle mind. Now physical mind is looking at the body. Then looking inside the body, the breath. The breath, my friend. So the subtle mind looks at the breath. I told you that every session is full. Every session is the last session. But provided, is the mind ready to learn? Looking at the breath, it is the subtle mind. You're not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And then you are looking behind the breath. What we are doing, we are understanding how to engage the mind and have a glimpse of what? Glimpse of the real self. Did I tell you? Evolve self by self? Yes, that is what we are doing. And what is the second self? Through the mind and the intellect. Clarity should be there. You are looking inside. What you are looking inside? You are looking inside and behind the thoughts. What did I say that? You become carefree. What is being carefree? Standing across a road watching the traffic moving. Let the traffic move. You are standing across a road. Why I gave this example in assembly? These two aspects are basically the same mind and the intellect. What? I'm standing across a road is one thing and traffic is other. No. At the mental level, it is one. How to explain that? You have the ripples on the surface of an ocean, of the water, and deep inside the ocean, there are no ripples. It is the same water. It is the same mind. So what I should do? Do nothing, just watch it. Separate yourself from the ripples. How? Separate in your mind. How? Separate in the field of awareness. Again, the mind is constantly asking how, so there is a confusion. We need to understand the principle of being carefree. Now being comfortable. Same principle, comfortable. Look at the neck joint. Is the mind looking at the neck joint? It looks and then it starts running after other thoughts, which conditions you with the likes and dislikes. If that happens, check yourself where you stand. And then, when you look at the neck joint, now you feel the sensation. It is the physical mind. Then you experience being comfortable. It is the subtle mind. Mind is one. And you experience the steadiness. It is the subtler mind. Why I am saying so? You are looking more. Who is looking at the neck joint? You are not obsessed with the neck joint. What is this? In a very subtle way, this is the path of the Shreyas, not Preyas. So if you understand it, you are clear about it, you will be absorbed into mindfulness. If you are not clear, the mind is returning again and again. It is the path of the Preyas. Don't degrade yourself. One, don't make yourself the enemy. Mind and the intellect is the worst enemy. There is no enemy outside. So look at the shoulder joints. Feel the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. The entire body, Move the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the toes and experience sensation in the body, being comfortable and steadiness. So when your mind and the intellect, which is used by our master as a self, is clear, knows the principle, conviction, doubt-free mind is there, then it follows the practice and with 100%. So who is putting 100%? Who is a seeker? It is not that, simply say, I'm putting my 100%, but still I'm not changing. That never happens. Commitment. What is 100% commitment? And what is commitment? You made a clear choice at this moment. But the mind returns. It puts you into sleep. It starts reminding you of the past. It causes a sense of duality. And still you say, no, I'm 100% ready. You teach me. So our Eastern wisdom even guides you how to prepare yourself, how to start, how to learn, how to educate the mind, how to become a seeker. One of the very important principles is to drop that mind, which is the worst enemy. Look inside the forehead. Where do you see the space and the darkness or the emptiness? Very good. If you see that, that is good. Second point, you're moving the mind inside the forehead in the space. Two things. The space is there and you experience the mind is moving inside. So where it is moving in the space. Now you become aware as if you are too far from the world outside. Third point. You see, I'm just summarizing the principle that takes weeks, months, and years to learn, but giving you a glimpse today. So, 3 points. You are aware of the space inside, mind is moving in the space inside, and you become aware as if you are too far from the world outside. Now coming the 4th point. The mind seems to stop. And the moment the mind seems to stop, those who have learned traditionally, you can visualize our Gurudev. Or, when the mind seems to stop, that is the state of the pure consciousness. Both are the same thing. Now allow the mind to think what I am and offer what I am to that steadiness or Gurudev. What I have, body, breath, mind, intellect, liking, disliking. It belongs to you, my existence. Simple, or it belongs to you, Gurudev. What I possess, that also belongs to you. So when you offer, when you disclaim your authority on what I am, what I have and what I possess, your mind becomes the best friend. And traditionally it is known as Mangala Charana. In that state, the journey becomes beautiful and simple and easy. So now this mind that was the worst enemy is dropped. Means what the mind likes, dislikes, claims, disclaims is dropped. It is open. It is in the field of awareness. From that field of awareness, look at the head and the neck. I'm making it now more simple. So what do you experience? Sensation and awareness. The mind goes to the right arm. Be there. Feel the presence and experience. Feel the presence and experience. What do you experience? You simply experience. Sensation is there and awareness is there. That much is required. We are not move the mind on the right arm. First check. Is the mind continue to remain there? Yes. It feels the presence? Yes. Do you feel the sensation? Yes. Are you aware of the right arm? Yes. Done. Finished. Don't allow the mind to get caught up with other stuff. How simple it is. Move the mind on the left arm. Be there. Just check that you continue to be there. Feel the presence and experience. And experience sensation and awareness. You know, if the mind is asking you, oh, what will happen by doing this? Then the mind is becoming an enemy. What will happen if I put my hands on steering to learn driving? You see that? That kind of an argument is done by the mind. And then, because you cannot help yourself, so the teacher has to help you. After all, when you don't know anything, you take the help from the other teachers or technician. No, I know everything. This will not work. Become aware of the chest, rib cage. Become aware of the rib cage. You are there and become aware of the sensation, belly, sensation and awareness. Simple thing I'm saying. Move the mind where? On the right leg. Feel the sensation and become aware. What I'm saying? Sensation, that is your experience. Awareness, that is also your experience. What else you want? Are we doing anything? Understand, my friend. And the entire body entire body. Just feel the sensation and become aware. And I will go little deeper to tap that subtle mind. Move the mind on the head and the neck. Experience sensation and the stillness. What you are doing, you experience the sensation and the stillness, and you discover the calm and the relaxation inside. You see, that's a very subtle pointer. What is the pointer? The sensation and the stillness. And then you leave it. You don't start questioning at the time of doing the practice. Move the mind on the right arm. Feel the sensation and experience the stillness. Move the mind on the left arm. Feel the sensation and experience the stillness. Move the mind on the left arm. Feel the sensation and experience the stillness. Move the mind on the chest and the belly. Feel the sensation and experience the stillness. Understand that. Move the mind on the entire body and feel the sensation and experience the stillness. Now, what we did in the first step to making the mind subtle. When you make the mind subtle, the mind leaves the world outside. When it leaves the world outside, we discover what we discover. We discover the permanent peace and happiness. So what should we do now? Looking at the breath. Looking at the breath, what it means, you know the breath is going in and coming out. You're not doing anything. You should be clear, my friends. Now check that. You will understand. Are you really a seeker? It does not mean that even if you succeed keeping the mind on the breath today, but for a considerable number of practices, maybe in couple of weeks, your mind returns to the breath, knowing the breath instantly. Well, if you succeed today, it's wonderful. You're looking at the breath, means you know the breath is going in and out. Why should you know it? Because we all are self-conscious beings. We have a self-awareness. And that awareness is knowledge, and that knowledge is experience. So you are aware of the breath, you know the breath, and you experience the breath that is going in and out. Now we associate, we connect this to the body through the sensation. The breath is going in and the breath is coming out. You feel the sensation inside the nose with every breath coming in and going out. So we are aware of the breath going in and experience of sensation. We are aware of the breath going out and experience of sensation. And there is no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Who is going to change? The mind, that is our worst enemy. But why it wants to change? Because of the impressions that we have created, conditioned our life. We have a wrong commitment. What is the right commitment? The path of the Shreyas, not the prayers. See that. I made everything clear to you. Here, you know the breath is going in and out. You have an experience of the breath as a sensation, and you are aware you are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Continue, please. Now with every breath going in and every breath coming out, just drop Shantoham. So that is the mantra we all know. Everyone knows mantra. What is very important here in order to succeed? To succeed, it needs an understanding. From where the understanding comes? From the mind and the intellect. So what is that understanding? I am the peace. So what this mantra means? I am the peace. So when the breath goes in, while saying Shantoham, you take your mind deep inside into the infinite space and declare, this is the peace. So what will happen? Your mind and the intellect will become pure, your friend, and will be absorbed into the space. Same thing when the breath comes out. Shantoham. Breath goes in, Shantoham. I made everything clear. Let us continue. And now do nothing, remain as you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. And anyone can unmute it to share the experiences. And then we'll have few questions before the conclusion of the this online session. So, Ashok, how are you? Ashok is not able to, his picture is...
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Feeling relaxed. I'm good.
Feeling relaxed. Good. Terry, how are you?
I'm good. It was very active. It like a lot of images kept coming to me, and
Okay.
they just did it.
Uh-huh.
They were doing that, and I was doing the practice.
You were simply witnessing, not affected by those images.
Yeah, I think so.
That is good.
I just noticed that there were so many.
Yeah. That is the garbage in the mind. That makes the mind the worst enemy.
But usually I wouldn't follow them, but occasionally I would accidentally follow one without realizing it, and then I would suddenly realize it and come back.
It's okay. It's a process. हाँ जी, संगीता जी कैसे हैं?
सर बहुत अच्छा लगा, शांत एकदम हो गया. पहले थोड़ा भारीपन, जब बॉडी की सेंसेशन होती है तो भारीपन फील होता है, फिर खत्म.
गुड, वेरी गुड. और चलिए आप ही बताइए. उस दिन पूछा शोभा ने कि मेरे को तो पूछा नहीं, तो पूछ लेते हैं जी. आप उस दिन आई थे बीच में, तो मैं क्या करूं? कहिए जी. देवी जी, आपका क्या हाल है? ठीक है. कुछ हुआ नहीं हुआ?
सब बड़ा अजीब सा हुआ आज. मतलब पहले तो हो नहीं रहा था, फिर हुआ. एंड उसके बाद मतलब आपके साथ जा रहे थे, उसके बाद फिर अचानक से एक ऐसी स्टेट हुई कि मुझे आपकी आवाज़ कुछ नहीं थी. मैं जस्ट पता नहीं कहाँ थी. फिर आपने जब ओम चैंटिंग किया, उसके बाद मेरे को एक झटका सा लगा कि
तब याद आए. हाँ,
मैं मेडिटेशन कर रही हूँ.
गहरी नींद में किसी को उठा दो.
नहीं सर, नींद भी नहीं थी एक्चुअली.
नींद भी
समथिंग, मतलब मैं ब्रीदिंग को फील कर रही थी ना, और फील करते करते मतलब लास्ट में ये था कि मैं फील कर रही हूँ. जस्ट फॉर द सेकंड्स, मतलब ऐसे था कि मुझे नहीं समझ में आया कि मैं कहाँ थी.
वेरी गुड. ठीक है, करते रहिए.
देन उसके बाद हाँ,
करते रहिए. हाँ जी, वैभव जी क्या हाल है?
नमस्ते सर जी.
हाँ
सर, जब स्टार्ट किया था तब तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि अंदर से कुछ मूव कर रहा है, बट जैसे जैसे आगे किया तो इट्स लाइक आई एम वेरी स्टिल इन द एंड, एंड इट्स लाइक वेरी ब्लैंक एंड peaceful.
Very blank and peaceful. That's a good sign. That is a good sign. In the way, that's a good sign. You see that, my friends, this verse today explains everything of the journey. It explains everything of the journey. So the mind, just to summarize, the mind in intellect, I observe, I fix the goal of my life. So when I fix the goal of my life, then there is a commitment. So at every stage the teacher helps you. Why it helps you? I know the goals in life, I don't know the goals of life. From the principles of Eastern wisdom, how simple is that? But we don't want to understand. So if we don't want to understand, we want to jump to the highest, not possible. So once you commit yourself, then you make a choice. Then you make a choice to the Shreyas. And the Shreyas depends on. Shreyas, the path of what is right and good, depends on listening the principles and contemplation, followed by the practice. Can you do Shravan, Manan and Nididhyasan by yourself? If you can do it, then you will succeed. If you cannot do it, say you cannot fix your air conditioner, what you do? You seek help. No, but here, I know everything, I want to seek. I don't want to. You tell me this thing. That doesn't work. It doesn't work in any discipline. So it doesn't work in this discipline also. How simple is that? Followed by, there are some practices that we need to do regularly, daily, in order to get rid of this ignorance. And that is all for today. Thank you very much. We will meet again next
Thank you, sir.
week.